My name's Keenan Dakota. I've been at Twin Oaks since 1983. So the work that I mainly do here is childcare. I do homeschool with the kids, but I also build. I like to build. And I learned all of my building skills here at Twin Oaks. And what we are working on now is a hospice addition to our handicapped accessible residence. Twin Oaks is striving to be a complete village where people can live their whole lives, from being born here to dying here. And so we want to make it a place where people feel comfortable that they can retire and that they'll be cared for in their old age. The community consists of 100 people on 500 acres of land. The age range goes from newborn to 86 years old. Every member here is expected to contribute the same amount of labor. Even little kids as young as 5 and 6 are expected to help out a little bit, an hour or two a week.
As they should be.
As they should, right, I know.
It teaches responsibility.
Having kids work in the community just has made them so much more integrated into the community than when they weren't doing that.
Right.
So the deal is you contribute your labor to the community and the community takes care of all your needs. So everybody here works 42 hours and gets their health care taken care of. Everybody gets free food, and you have a vehicle, you get an allowance so you can get ice cream and have 1 or 2 vices. Every member is expected to work 42 hours, and that 42 hours can be in any part of the community. There is no committee that tells people where to work. So it's up to the individual to find out where they're going to work. Nobody works 40 hours at any one thing. I have probably 6 different jobs I do in any given week. Like every week I'm doing 6 different things. And that's pretty standard. We have a pension program, which I think is brilliant. It's one of our brilliant things we've done. Starting at the age of 50, every member gets an hour of reduced quota. So at 51 you get 2 hours of reduced quota. So as people age, the amount of work that's expected is a little bit less. So there's not this wall that people hit at 65 where they're working full-time and then not at all. And it seems to work very well. The people who are elderly here feel very included as part of the community. Most people choose to have a diversity of work. Some intellectual work, some outside ditch digging work, some working in the garden. Our total work, about half of it is income labor. The other half is domestic labor. Cleaning, shopping, cooking, taking care of the kids. So you could arguably say that the amount of income labor that's expected of every person is about 20 hours, which is half of what people have to do out in the mainstream. Right. Most people out in the mainstream have a full-time job, 40 hours, and then have to come home and cook and clean and take care of their kids. So comparatively, we have kind of an easy life. Twin Oaks has no guru. We don't have a leader. We don't have a set of leaders. What we have are systems. And we have because we've been doing this for 40-some years, we have very robust systems. Our governance model was lifted from the utopian novel Walden 2, which has a planner-manager system. So what we have 3 planners. They serve 18-month terms, and so it's a rotating thing because we don't want any ruling elite happening. I think I've been a planner 4 times, so you can take your turn, and it's more a turn of service rather than as much a sign of prestige. But on paper, the planners have a great deal of power over deciding how the resources of the community are distributed. In practice, that power is exercised fairly lightly because we all live together, and the planners are trying to make decisions that everybody in the community will support. If we look at it as a pyramid, at the top there are planners making high executive level decisions. And then below that are the managers. And every area of the community has a managership. We have a wood shop, there's a wood shop manager. We have a garden, there's a garden manager. We have an auto maintenance shop, there's an auto maintenance manager. We have a kitchen manager. Some of them are teams. We have a membership team. We have a health team, but we have far more managerships than we actually have members. So many members manage different areas. While the planners make executive level decisions, day to day, what happens in the community is decided by the managers. So the central way that Twin Oaks is ecological is that we do everything on one piece of property. Is that we have all of our businesses here, so we're not commuting to work. We provide a lot of our own entertainment, like we have music here. We put on plays for each other, so people are not traveling to do their entertainment. We do homeschooling for our kids, so the kids are not going off the property to school. Because we control our businesses, we control the waste flow. So the waste products of our hammocks business is rope and wood, and so we use the wood to heat our buildings, and we use the rope for all kinds of things around the community.
Right.
That which we can't use, we then recycle. So the waste stream from our residences and our businesses is almost nothing. Because of the way that we consume our food, which is we distribute it free, like once it gets to Twin Oaks, you get to eat whatever is here, we can buy in bulk. So our flour comes in big paper bags, and then we either reuse the paper bags or we recycle them. So we're not buying lots of little containers of things. So, you know, all of that cooperative effort makes a big difference in how much, you know, our carbon footprint. All of our buildings are designed with some sort of solar component to them. I mean, some of them have photovoltaics on top and generate electricity. Most of them have the black panels for heating water or just preheating water.
Right.
A lot of our buildings just have clear glazing in the roof to allow sun into the space to help heat it in the winter. But more, what we invest in is insulation. You know, we just have massively insulated walls and massively insulated ceilings. And what we do now is we do blown-in cellulose, which is like old newspapers. You know, it's that sticky stuff that you just blow in and it sort of sticks there. So that's great. We have a dairy program, and so from our dairy program, we have milk, and we make our own yogurt, we make our own cheese, we make our own butter. But we also get a bunch of meat. You know, don't let anything go to waste. So we have organically fed, you know, beef that's not destroying the environment. And we don't buy any other meat. You know, so whatever cows we have, that's the meat for the year.
Right.
We also have chickens and geese. So we have the chickens for their meat, we have the chickens for their eggs, and then they eat the compost that's left over. It's a nice little cycle. We have organic gardens, and we grow all kinds of vegetables in our organic garden, and we have 2 greenhouses. One is like your traditional greenhouse, which is a building with a lot of glass in the front. The other is this sort of plastic thing, and that allows us to have greens all through the winter. Great. Yeah. One of our new businesses is heritage seeds, and so we're growing these crops like cantaloupe for their seeds to sell, but then the byproduct is we have lots of cantaloupe to eat. So the heritage seed business not only is bringing in income for the community, but is also providing food as a waste product. Our tofu business, tofu is made out of soybeans, and it's sort of like you make soy milk out of it, and you make this tofu is basically like the cheese of the soy milk. And there's a waste product from the tofu business, which is okara, and it's loaded with protein. And so what we feed that to our cows. So the waste product from our tofu is what we feed our cows, which then we then eat the cows, or get milk from the cows. Twin Oaks is essentially a communistic society, and that the community controls a great deal of people's lives and takes care of every individual that's here. However, people who are looking for some sort of pure communism are frequently disappointed because Twin Oaks runs these capitalist businesses. The way we run our businesses is cooperatively. We all work in the business, we all own the business, we all make the decisions about how the business is going to go and share the profits. Still, we are operating in a capitalist system where we are selling things out there and keeping the profits. And in that, we are very successful. So we are able to operate successful capitalist businesses to earn income for our essentially communistic society.